from?
This is my animation presentation. Sorry, is this not in full? Sorry, so the definition of animation is the creation of a sequence of images, drawn, painted, or produced by other artistic methods that change over time to portray the illusion of motion. So I'll just go quickly into the history. So, like, there's cave drawings, pottery bowls, Egyptian paintings, and even Leonardo da Vinci has been known to do types of animation. I'll go through the pictures. So here is a cave drawing. So they believe that this was the earliest form of animation to show movement in the animals. Some say it's because they didn't have means of like raising the legs and stuff, but others say that they're trying to convey movement. This is over 5,000 years old. It was found in Iran, and it's a bowl and around it are different.
Good morning, sorry to disturb you. The sum of money has been found in reception. So if anyone has lost some money, if they would call to reception. Thank you.
Different images of a goat trying to eat some leaves off a tree. You spin it around and move. This is an Egyptian mural of a wrestling match, and as you see as you go across it, it's like step-by-step movement of what's happening. And then these are just the pictures of an arm moving. I believe he has a face version of this as well. So even though they're still images, they're still considered to be animation because they're trying to portray movement. So animation before film, there's a few different things here. Starts from the 1600s right up until the late 1800s. I'll go through each of these now. So the magic lantern, what you needed was a translucent oil painting, a lens, and then a candle or an oil lamp, and then darker obviously to see it. Some did have moving parts, so you could move different paintings through the magic lantern. So it would be known as one of the earliest examples of projected animation on the wall. There's a picture of it now. Some of them have, like, you could put, it's not film because it's paintings, but the slide would go through and they'd have different paintings on the slide. The homotrope, it was a disc with pictures on either side attached, 2 pieces of string. They were quite popular with children, and you just spin the string and the 2 pictures would look like they were one. So there's an example there, bird, cage, bird, and then when it was spun you'd see the bird inside the cage. The phenakistoscope, so it's another disc. Series of images were drawn around the disc, different radii. And then slits were cut into the disc just above where the pictures were drawn, and then the viewer would look through one of these at a mirror, and it was spun, and it would make it look like it was moving. So that's just quite a simple one, but as you saw in O'Shea's, there's one people dancing at them. So the zoetrope, it's the same principle as the one we just looked at, but instead of placing the drawings in front of the mirror, it was a cylinder, so you'd look through, there's slits all around the cylinder, so you'd look through one of them and it would spin, and again the pictures would move. So that's just a man walking, but would have each of his different movements. Then the flip book, again, which was late 1800s. Everyone knows what a flip book is, pictures drawn at the bottom. It would have to be kind of light paper to be able to move quite fluidly. And they would flip the pages to see the sequence, but there was drawbacks with this because they have to be quite, well, with all of these, they have to be short because you couldn't have a big heavy book and be flipping the book for ages. There's a picture of it there. And then the praxinoscope. So this was the first known animation to be projected on a screen. It was projected, and it was the first one to be projected to the public as well. It was in Paris in the late 1800s. Even though he used film for this, it wasn't photographs he'd taken but drawn on to the film. So there's the idea, and there was a lamp, and then you can project it onto the screen. So J. Stuart Blockton would be known as the father of American animation, for the first entirely animated film, which was in 1906, and it was Humorous Faces and Funny Faces. And then in Europe, there's a French artist called Emile Cole, and he created Phantasmagorie. It was a stick figure that had movement, but also different objects. One was, I think, a wine bottle turning into a flower. It was a mixture of live action as well as animation, because in the film you can see his hands moving. So then these films went on to inspire other animations such as Little Nemo in 1911, Gertie the Dinosaur in 1914, and The Sinking of the Lusitania in 1918. So then there's other forms of animation, drawn on glass, rotoscoping, clay animation, stop motion, cell animation, 3D animation, and motion capture. The ones I'm looking at in more detail will be the drawn on glass and the stop motion. So this it's quite time consuming, involves manipulating slow drying oil paints on sheets of glass, and like oil painting takes forever to dry, so you can take your time with this. It doesn't have to be done really fast. The paint is moved and pushed around under the camera and is recorded frame by frame. So it is like stop motion, only it's painting. So you kind of need to know what you're doing with this. So yeah, like I said, it dries really slow. Like an oil painting can take over a year to dry, like on canvas. So this is on glass. The technique can be done using dry mediums as well, like sand, brick dust, and pastels. It's the same concept, just a different medium. It's quite an unforgiving form because there's no room for mistakes, because once you paint something or mix two colours together, like, you can't go back, you can't undo something. A practitioner that I've chosen for this is Alexander Petrov. He's most famous for The Old Man and the Sea. There's a picture of him there in his studio. He won the Academy Award for this, for Best Animated Short Film in 1999. The clip of it here. Do you want me to show it to you, or?
Keep going on, because you're going to run out of time. So,
well, basically, it's just, you've seen it before anyway, so. So the next one I have is stop motion animation. It's quite similar to drawn on glass, but it's been around for longer. It's physically moving an object or character to make it look like they're moving by themselves. So it's done frame by frame, quite time consuming again. So you would move the object like a tiny bit between each frame. Again, this is various different mediums that can be used for this. Clay, plasticine, rubber, cloth, plastic resins, but again, you can use a combination of the above, and then it doesn't have to use any of them. It can use humans, it can use like a chair, it can be done with anything. So a practitioner I have is Henry Selick. He's most famous for The Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, Coraline. Like, he works quite closely with Tim Burton, so you see Tim Burton film, he's usually associated with that. Some of his inspirations in film would be like Kubrick, and then Miyazaki, and then Tranka. And he was nominated for an Oscar in 2010 for Coraline. He didn't win. Shut up. Am I 10? Close. Yeah. Well, I'll show you one of these.
from Walt Disney Pictures.
Come on, James! Holy shit!
It's just a trailer for James and Giant Peach, and this mixed stop motion with live action as well, because at the beginning, obviously they're people, and then it comes on to he's a sort of bigger, so